Ukrainian drones, leaders in the domestic military-industrial complex. Strike, reconnaissance, kamikaze, cargo, and recently even training drones.
As of today, when talking about Ukrainian drones, their range has now exceeded by about 100 units.
They have learned to bypass Russian electronic warfare systems and have gone far beyond destroying ordinary fortified areas or armored vehicles.
They can completely defeat any air defense, like Buk or Panzer systems.
Ukrainian copies of Shahed drones are capable of breaking through the multi-layered air defense system of the Russian Federation, and those drones were specifically designed to destroy the enemy's air defense. The latest in Ukrainian drone aviation is what we will discuss today in Arsenal. At first glance, it may seem like another launch of a Shahed heading to bomb Ukraine, but that's not the case. The launch is conducted from our territory, and the video shows a domestic copy, of the Iranian drone called Kupalo.
Today, around 5 to 10 different manufacturers have presented their drones, which are practically close or at least comparable to Shahed drones in terms of flight range and also in terms of the munitions they can use.
The developers of the Vitruhan project reported that they managed to create a virtually perfect equivalent of the Shahed. The drone retained the shape, flight range, payload weight, low cost, and has become an excellent training tool for our mobile air defense groups. After all, Shaheds are the main type of UAVs that Russia launches over Ukrainian territory. Now, practicing shooting them down can be done, not only during combat missions, but also in training mode.
This is rational because the cost of one such drone is usually between $20 to about $30 to $40,000. Kamikaze drones, which in the event of a successful strike on infrastructure targets, as is typically done by the Russian Federation, can cause damage ranging from several million to several tens of millions of dollars. Therefore, even if, let's say, a dozen of such drones are purchased for training mobile units, these mobile units, if at least one of them destroys a cruise missile or several such enemy kamikaze drones, it generally allows for the recovery of all the costs of such training.
Moreover, the Kupalo, with a combat charge, is quite suitable for combat missions on enemy territory. The first such sorties, according to unconfirmed information so far, have already taken place and were successful. Today, the main task for the designers of Kupalo is to scale up production, so that there are enough drones for both training and combat sorties. Our engineers also have plenty of developments in the field of so-called bomber drones. These are the ones that destroy the enemy by dropping explosives from the air. One of the new domestic drone designs is the Backfire. Previously a secret development, the mystery was revealed after the Ukrainian Ministry of Digital Transformation announced that the drone had already completed over 50 successful combat sorties beyond the line of demarcation.
It is a strike drone capable of carrying up to 4 kilograms of payload. This can include not only a combat payload but also packages. We send to someone.
The drone can deliver 4 kilograms of explosives over a distance of up to 35 kilometers. The military says, launching it a couple of kilometers from the front line, the Backfire's flight range is quite sufficient to reach the forward command posts, the occupier's ammunition depots, and the locations of reserve units. Meanwhile, flying initially according to predetermined coordinates, the drone remains completely undetectable to the enemy.
The advantage is in this regard, it has no radio communication, so it is completely invisible to electronic reconnaissance. It is practically immune to electronic warfare, because it has no control channel that can be jammed, and it has a unique GPS antenna that cannot be jammed. Therefore, it simply flies according to its coordinates, Bandi, and bombs the targets that were assigned to it.
Overall, the issue of bypassing enemy electronic warfare has reached a new level in Ukraine, analysts share. Now, instead of developing another product, Engineers simply change the control board, using new frequencies each time.
When we talk about the capabilities of such a drone to counteract electronic warfare, in terms of modularity, changing the frequencies of even the existing fleet involves changing just a few components. For this, it is not necessary to carry out a new procurement procedure or reinvent some model.
If the task is not to deceive electronic warfare but to destroy it, the Ukrainian armed forces also have something to use.
It can completely strike any air defense system like Buk, Panzer.
This is about the Ukrainian Ram X drone. Due to its external resemblance, it has been nicknamed the Ukrainian Lancet, and it is already showing phenomenal results on the front line. Another, still rare video of the use of a Ukrainian drone shows footage of a strike on the Russian mobile electronic warfare system, Borisogledsk 2. Notably, the electronic warfare complex was unable to jam either the Ram X kamikaze drone or the UAV that was recording everything on video.
The enemy's electronic warfare means are mostly used for jamming GPS signals. That is, roughly speaking, what helps in more accurate targeting. If we are talking, for example, about control channels, then yes, they have some systems that allow, for instance, to limit the capabilities in the control channels of piloted drones. We are talking about a system that primarily performs automatic flight due to, for example, the onboard equipment it has. Therefore, here, we are talking about the fact that due to such capabilities, this system can bypass the enemy's electronic warfare and hit the target with minimal error, again, thanks to the visual guidance that is directly installed on this UAV.
Regarding the potential targets of Ram X, it is guaranteed that the drone can attack any equipment or fortified area. However, considering its ability to bypass radars and signal jamming systems, Ram X operators typically choose the most expensive target on the battlefield.
If I'm not mistaken, there was a Tunguska that was destroyed.
At the same time, little is known about the destructive power of this drone. Judging by the video, the amount of explosives is sufficient to hit armored vehicles. Therefore, it is more than enough to destroy cars, light armored vehicles, and even prepared enemy positions. At the same time, experts believe that the type of explosive device can be replaced. It all depends on the task at hand.
A small amount of shrapnel can significantly impact, say, a radar antenna. And this radar will be rendered completely out of operational use. In other words, we are saying that it will not perform its function.
The special task facing our engineers today, experts say, is the production of long-range drones. And the destroyed over-the-horizon radars of Russia, located more than 1,500 kilometers from our borders, indicate that this task is achievable. The main thing is to overcome the border itself.
After passing through this buffer zone, these drones typically enter what is called inner Russia, which is practically unprotected. And there you can fly to hundreds of kilometers, practically without fear, with minimal risks of being detected or destroyed. You say, and that then it is necessary to select targets for their destruction.
And we have plenty to choose from. Therefore, in the near future, there will certainly be more surprises in the deep Russian rear. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to our channel, so you don't miss new episodes of Arsenal.